Hi guys, welcome back. Wait, let me just... fix this. Okay, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Caroline. It is so nice to meet anyone that's new and... No, let's stop this again. This is just really big. Okay, start again. Hi guys, welcome back. Oh my god, my ears are cut off. There we go. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For anyone new here, hi, I'm Caroline. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and visiting me in my little corner of the internet. I need some water. I'm choking here. I literally cannot believe it's December. Like, obviously I know it's December, but this year went ridiculously quick. I'm not really okay with it being so quick. We spent most of it in lockdown, which is really bad. But I cannot believe how quick this year is gone. Honestly, it's just ridiculous. And it's scaring me so much. Yeah, so basically Christmas, my favorite time of the year. I have my little antlers out. My house is all decorated, which is great. I actually saw so many people were decorating their houses in November, which was really, really early. Usually I'm like on the November bandwagon, but I was late this year, which is kind of cool in a way. Everyone else was getting into the Christmas spirit more than me, which is great. So, welcome back. I have thought about filming this video for a while, and then I was a bit like, I don't know, but then I decided to film it anyway. So it's basically going to be my review of the Hawthorne Legacy. And I haven't done a reviewing video pretty much all year, so that's exciting. Yeah, so I don't know if you consider it exciting or really bad on my behalf, I don't know. But I thought I would do a review on this because I feel like this is a really good book to review. It is the quintessential middle book of a series, and that's why I thought it was really good book to review. So the first book, which was called The Inheritance Games, which is in one of these boxes, little boxes there and there, because I tend to put books. I don't have a formal bookshelf, which is kind of ironic given that I'm a reader without a bookshelf. It's kind of like an artist that doesn't have real paintbrushes. But yeah, so basically I don't have a formal bookshelf, and I like to keep my books near me. And so in order to do that, I need to store them, and so I store them in boxes. And I keep and these books are this is like books I need to read. Those are books I need to read. And then next to them are books I've read, but like I usually use them as like props kind of thing for like TikTok and stuff. So you've got like Val Kennedy's and my Sarah J Maas's. So they're like authors that are like auto grab kind of things. So they make like you know, you use them often kind of thing for videos and things. So that's basically my little space and how it kind of works, which is really funny. Not funny like haha, like funny sad. But yeah, so basically the Inheritance Games is in one of those boxes. But the Inheritance Games, if you have not read it, this is probably not a good video if you haven't read this book, or if you're someone that doesn't like spoilers, perhaps switch off now, because there is going to be spoilers. But basically in the first book, Avery Gams inherits $1 billion fortune from an old man who she's never even met. So she goes to Texas, and there's this guy, he has 4 grandsons and 3 children. And so they were all completely written out of the will, and so there's a bit of like issue with Avery and like why she's inherited this will. She doesn't even know this family. And so the condition to the will is that she needs to stay in the house for like a whole year. And it's full of like riddles. There's so many riddles within the house. Like this family is all like a riddle family. So like the answers to all of these questions are all in riddles. And I love riddles. Oh my God, I love riddles, I love puzzles, I love things that I have to really think about. And so that's why I really, really loved this book. It was fantastic. I also loved the fact that there was 4 grandsons and they were really, really like, it just was like, if this was in a reverse harem, like steamy reverse harem, I think this book would be amazing. But it's only YA, unfortunately. And I don't think it's in reverse harem format, which sucks. But anyway, I'm trying to get comfortable here. So it ends on a cliffhanger because the billionaire had a single son who was going to inherit the fortune, and he went missing. And so one of the grandsons got a letter from their grandfather that said, find the missing heir. And that's how that book ended. And it was such a cliffhanger and it was just horrible. And then this book came out, The Hawthorne Legacy, which is the second book. So initially, I thought this book was a duology. And so I was like, cool, okay, I'm going to pick it up and it's going to answer my questions and that'll be it. But it's not. This book's a trilogy. This series is a trilogy, which is a bit strange because a lot of questions are already answered in this book. And so that's kind of awkward in how the third book is going to work. And that's something I was a bit like, oh. But it was a quintessential middle book in the sense that the characters were all wishy-washy. The 4 grandsons who had like a prominent role in the first book were like non-existent in this book, and it was really frustrating. Like, it was just like, why are they not talking? Why are they not interacting? Avery went from, in the first book, this really strong female lead to a kind of a damsel in distress kind of character in the second book, which was really frustrating. I didn't find her as connectable as what I did in the first book. But the characters really frustrated me in this one though. I was just like, what the hell? Like, this was more of a background setting, scene setting, riddle solving book. And so we found out that the long lost heir was actually Avery's mother's first boyfriend and love of her life. And so that's why he left her his fortune. And then, like, a lot of everything was revealed in this book. All the secrets, all the plot lines, they were all revealed. The only thing that wasn't revealed is why he ran away again, and like how he knew to get his fortune given to Avery. But that was about it. So Tobias Hawthorne the second, that's his name. So Avery was digging around looking for answers, and she kind of found out that Tobias Hawthorne had spent some time with her mom, and so she had assumed that she was like his daughter, and that's why she inherited everything. And so when he finally came out of the woodwork, because she has known Tobias Hawthorne her whole life as a homeless man who she plays chess with, and so when he kind of came out of hiding, he was like, you're not my daughter biologically, but you're my daughter in every other sense, because I loved your mom and all this. And that was kind of how it ended. That's how it in the background. Okay, my battery died, so I got a new one, got something to eat, and some cold brew coffee. I literally live on coffee. So, as far as the plotline was concerned with this book, it was all answered. We kind of found out who the boys' fathers were, because in the first book you didn't know. It was like Sky, their mother, made it a thing that they would never know who their fathers were. So we kind of found out who their fathers were and how they were all connected within the storyline, because they were. But like, I don't know, I'm just confused how there's going to be a third book because literally everything was answered. And that's something I find weird because in the first book you were like, no, there's definitely going to be a second book. Like, I don't know what's happening. And this book really answered it all, so I'm so lost. But it was the quintessential second book in the sense that all the characters just didn't have their place. And they were all just so like mellow, I guess. They didn't really want to do anything that would upset anyone, and it's just frustrating. As far as love interests are concerned in this book, there was kind of, in the first book there was two, in this book there kind of wasn't really one. Yeah. Would this book make it as a Caroline's pick read? No. The first book, for sure, I was like, everyone drop what you're doing and read this book. It was so good, super underrated. It needed to be more hyped up than what it was, but the second book ruined it for me, and it was really, yeah. That is it for me. This series just killed me. It honestly did. And I love YA books. I've been a fan of YA since I was a teenager. That's kind of really ironic to say. No, the truth is, I have a very big soft spot for YA books, and I think when they're done like super well, they're amazing. In saying that, there's a lot that aren't done super well, but obviously YA is like the biggest category, if I'm not mistaken, and the second is romance, I believe. So if you can kind of break into those categories, yeah, it's huge. And I know that there's more in the YA sphere. There's less written about Harold. What are you doing? Come here. Come here, Harold. No, Harold doesn't want to come. There's less contemporary kind of YA and less. I don't think you'd even put this as contemporary. Oh, I guess it would be contemporary YA. But there's less of that, and there's more like fantasy YA that dominates the genre. So that's another thing why I was so excited to read this series, because there is not that many that come out that are like this. They're mostly like fantasy books or coming of age books, where this is not a coming of age book. And don't get me wrong, there's a place for coming of age books. People love reading them, and they're a really good tool for someone who is coming of age to read and kind of, I don't know, ascertain how they are feeling about their lives. But I was very disappointed with this book. The characters just disappointed me so much. Yeah, that's... Come on. Harold does not want to come up, and it's freaking annoying. He's just running around the floor. Yeah, so that was like so upsetting about this series. That's all I really have to add on it. I mean, I've spoken about the characters, the plot line, the development. That's really kind of all I have. I guess my reviews aren't very editorial, in case you didn't notice. Not that that's a bad thing. I just don't really read books to review it like that. No, Harold's going after my cold brew. I don't know, I guess for me, when I read a book, I read to escape and escape reality, and I base my reviews based off of how well I can escape reality. And not only that, I read to... what I base my reviews on is whether I was so absorbed in this book that I couldn't put it down until it was finished. And so it's less editorial and more personal, I suppose. And I suppose that's also bad, because my personality and what I do and don't like is not necessarily what other people do and don't like. And I fully understand that. But it's just how I feel about when I read a book, and that's what I want to, I suppose, transfer across, is the way it made me feel. And that's what I think is really important, because when you read, you want to feel something. You want to feel like you're rooting for the character. You want to feel like you're involved in the scene. You want to feel like when you close your eyes, you can see that playing in your head like a movie. And that's how I feel, like that's how I base my books reviews on, and that's how I enjoy my reading, and that's why I say what I say and read what I read. And that's why I guess I'm a mood reader too, because I'm like, oh, what am I in the mood for? And I find reading quite boring if I'm not in the mood for it. So, this is Harold. Say hi. Hi. Why aren't you coming up? Say, my name's Harold. I'm a princess parrot. I talk. He's not gonna talk now though. He needs to get a bit more used to you guys before he can talk, but Harold says heaps. Harold says hi, he says hello, he says what are you doing? He's like, stop telling them! That's what he's looking at me and saying. It's really cute. Harold says, how are you? Harold says, what else does Harold say? He's not impressed that he's on camera, but I don't care. You came in here, you walked in here. This is like what I'm doing in here. What did you think I was doing? Camera face. Look at the camera. Obviously not from this drink, but Howard loves to drink from our drink. I have got water here. Howard, do you want some water? Can you get it? Well, he can't really get it, but Howard loves to drink from our drink. Howard is a little rock star bird, and he's very cute. So I have a little pirate buddy, I guess. I think he's eyeing off my earring. Dodgy. No, Harold. No, Harold. No. He's gonna give me a new one. But yes, so that is my review of the Inheritance Games. Overall, I gave this book 3 stars. I felt it truly deserved 3 stars. It sat really well within that category. It was an almost there but not quite there kind of feel to it. And the characters annoyed me quite a bit, how they were just not right. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more chemistry between Avery and at least one of the brothers. And yeah, I'm excited to see what the 3rd book here holds, but I'm also apprehensive to see what it holds. So thank you guys so much for joining Harold and I today. I hope you have enjoyed this little review. I don't know if I'll be doing more reviews in the future. I do a lot on Goodreads, but we'll see. I will see you all next week. It's nearly Christmas. I want to try to do Vlogmas. Don't think that's gonna work. Even just to probably over the Christmas break do a few more videos, kind of like every day. Maybe some more like vloggy type videos. I want to try and do that for you. Harold, what do you want? I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, so we'll see. I hope you guys have all had a lovely week, and I will see you all next time. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you all next time.